Mrs. Valpel? Here. Mrs. Butchko?
Here.
Mr. McMillan?
Here.
Mr. Tavy said he'd be absent. Mrs. Ezekiel said she would be absent. Mrs. Marmion?
Here.
Mr. Schaefer?
Here.
Mr. Stotts?
Here. Sorry. Let's go to rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Flags in the back of the room. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, there is no executive session at this point in time. So we'll move on to Windsor with this presentation on Start Strong Data.
Hi, everyone. So this is information about the Start Strong assessment that was taken in this fall. It was taken in September. I need to start off or preface a little bit that all this data has been already reviewed by the school, by the students, by the teachers. The state, in their infinite wisdom, sorry, I know there's a little frustration right now, has asked us to show this, or is requiring us or districts to actually present this information at this time. Right? But like I said, this was actually given back in September 2021, or September 20 and 21st, those dates. So this is kind of like old information. But here we go. I'll try and be quick. So basically for K-12 districts, Start Strong is for an ELA takes, those kids take grades 4 through 10. Students in math would take grades 4 through 8, Algebra 1, Geometry, and Algebra 2. And there's also a science component for grades 6, 9, and 12. You may think that 6, 9, and 12 is a little odd, but that's because the Start Strong actually assesses the previous year's information. So a 7th grade math student is actually taking or doing math questions on 6th grade standards. And as I said, we gave this really towards the end of September. The purpose of Start Strong really is for the educators and to help them figure out which kids to really focus on. And you'll see in terms of the performance levels, all right? So basically what happens is that your students, or the students get placed into 3 performance levels. We want students in level 3, which is what they say less support needed, all the way down to level 1 where they say strong support needed. Overall, here is Oaklyn for grades 4 and 5 combined together. We could see that for ELA, we have a large green bar, which is the, shows a less support is needed, and that was actually almost half of the kids. Unfortunately, on the flip side, for math, we see that the largest bar is the red, which is a little over half, which actually they needed strong support. So they need a lot of support in math. In terms of grades 4 and 5, so here I broke it down into the actual grades. We see that, again, the 44%, 49%, right, that's high for the less support, as shown by the previous graph. Kind of also shows that maybe 5th graders are a little bit stronger in the ELA portion. For this strong support where it says less than 10, we are not allowed to show information if there are less than 10 kids in that subgroup. In terms of math, again, we see that the red bars are high. That was the kids that needed strong support. Again, looking at grades 4 and 5, we see that they're the highest percentages. And in this case, I would say fourth grade with 44% needing strong support as compared to 56%, they're probably a little stronger in math for this year. Oh, yeah.
Is it less than 10 students or less than 10%?
Less than 10 students.
Thank you.
So this graph shows the subgroups for race and ethnicity. Again, based on the numbers, I can really only compare white students and Hispanic students. In ELA, we do see that there is a gap in terms of the less support in terms for Hispanic and white students. For math, there is a gap, although not as, I guess, severe as ELA for the less support, but we do see that there is a gap in terms of number of Hispanic students who need strong support. Right? So there is some work we need to do on that piece. In terms of gender, again, it does kind of go down stereotypical lines where we see that for ELA that the female students performed a little better. And for math, the male students did a little better. So, like if you want to reach the end of the book, this is basically what you would read or you'd go to. The summary findings is basically what I just said, but I do want to point out number 4, I could not do the accommodations piece, again, because of the small numbers. And like I said when I started off, the information that was presented here in terms of the students and which students needed more support, that information was already reviewed, given to the teachers, Ms. Bolden, and this information was used to help target those students that needed more support. Thank you. Anybody have any questions? Yes.
Yeah, I have 2 questions. One is, so the building leaders got the results. When did they? Because parents got notice. I think it was over the holiday break, maybe. So just wondering how long the schools had.
We didn't get, so the parents got notice because you received the individualized student reports, and they come a lot later than the actual information. So I would say we did our first round November, probably mid-November at least, is when we did this. So we do have a data group that we put together that we go through Oaklyn and all the other schools in Collingswood, where we look at information such as this, and we go and give that information to the building leaders to support their schools.
And my other question is, do you compare this data to the, forgive me, the spring testing data and or Start Strong last year?
I did do a comparison with Start Strong, but I think it was actually we have a new program into math, and there actually was, I have to think now, there was a correlation between, I believe, the students who did well or didn't do as well as in terms of like the into math. There are correlations that that you do see based on students who are a little bit stronger than others and the percentages. The state does say, though, you're not really supposed to do that. It was just more of a curiosity on my part. Anybody else have any other questions?
You know, Windsor, what does more support look like? Maybe that's not your question. Maybe that's Jen's question. I don't know.
So I know Oaklyn. So Oaklyn has coaches in their buildings in the grade levels. So students that needed more support as they go through different content in terms of math and language arts, those students can actually receive additional support by having these teachers really focus on a smaller group, like them, in a smaller group setting versus like just getting a whole group instruction there.
These numbers were strictly for Oaklyn.
Those numbers were strictly Oakland's.
Okay. And do you know, like, statewide, how they look versus the whole state?
They did not, what I recall, they didn't share state information. Even the subgroup information, that actually had to be calculated out. When you see like NJSLA, the state actually gives information for you, and the state says, show this information. Here they said, show this information, but we're not giving it to you. So,
I guess that goes for the county as well, right? Like county, state, like.
right.
Yeah.
Even NJSLA, that state assessment, they only compare the school to the state level. Anybody else have any questions? All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, item 4, Committee of the Whole. Is there a motion, excuse me, to go into Committee of the Whole?
So moved.
Second.
Was there a second on that? Oh, okay, thank you. All those in favor? Opposed? Okay, Committee of the Whole. Who has something they would like to bring to the entire board at this point in time? I see you getting ready to start. Or is that a motion to?
No. Well, I know in our committees we had talked about our core values statement as a board. So I was hoping we could continue that discussion. Unfortunately, Rich isn't here tonight.
We did add it to the agenda for the retreat.
Okay, then I think that's probably a better place to have that discussion.
Okay. Anything else? Okay, is there a motion to come out of the Committee of the Whole?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, moved and seconded. All those in favor? Opposed? Okay, Section 5, future dates and miscellaneous information. There's a ton of stuff there over the next month for your perusal. Go to Section 6, which is routine board business. And is there a motion to approve the minutes of the December meeting and the January reorganization meeting?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, moved and seconded. Any questions on any of the items? Any corrections? No, on a roll call, please. Oh, it's a voice vote. Okay, I'm sorry. All those in favor? Opposed? You'd think I would learn, wouldn't you? All right, Section 7, public comment. This is the first of 2 public comment sections. We ask that you rise, come up to the microphone, give us your name and address. Try and keep your comments to 5 minutes or less. And with that, is there a motion to open the floor to the public?
So moved.
Oh, I don't need a motion? Oh. I had a medical procedure today, so I'm still under anesthesia, and I wish I could blame it on that. That part's true, but it's not affecting me. Okay, public comment. Floor is now open to the public. The parameters that you just heard. So does anyone have anything to bring to the board? On the agenda items. Yes, I'm sorry. This is agenda items only. Oh, okay. Oh. Sorry, Lou. Okay, then we'll go on to Section 8, the Superintendent's Report. Fred, it's all yours.
So good evening, everyone. Section 8.01 is the attached enrollment report as of December 2022. December of 2022, enrollment was 275. December of this time last year, it was 262, and the report is attached. 8.02 is a school safety drill report, also attached. .03 is the suspension report, and .04 is the anti-bullying report, and .05 is the child study team report, which is also attached for your perusal.
Okay, thank you, Fred. Section 9, the Business Administrator's report.
This evening, I have for you on item 9.01, your December monthly budget transfers. 9.02 is your Board Secretary and Treasurer's report and cash reports. 9.03 is listing of the purchase orders that have been issued for the month of January. And 9.04 is a listing of the warrants to be paid tomorrow morning upon your approval this evening.
Great, thanks, Beth Ann. Section 10, FBG. Rich is not here.
Want me to? I can run through it.
Yeah, go ahead, you got it.
Sure. All right, items 10.01 through 10.06 were just presented by Mrs. Coleman for our approval. Item 10.07 is the use of facilities request by OMASEC, the over 30 basketball for their spring season. Item 10.08 is another use of facilities request from the Oaklyn Soccer Club for the spring season. And item 10.09 is looking for approval for textbook disposal. Ms. Bolden did make several attempts to find homes for these textbooks, but there were no takers, so we're seeking approval to dispose of them. So we're seeking approval on items 10.03 through 10.09.
Okay, is there a motion for that?
So moved.
And a second? Okay, are there any questions or corrections on any of that? Hearing none, on a roll call.
Mrs. Falpel?
Yes.
Mrs. Butchko? Mr. McMillan?
Yes.
Mrs. Marmion?
Yes.
Mr. Schaefer?
Yes.
Mr. Stotts?
Yes. Okay, section 11 is the curriculum and personnel.
It should be
Co-
Todd. We didn't catch that until after you made the change.
Well, yeah, but the committee meetings, it was still Colleen, so you want to do it for the last time? Oh, okay, Todd, you can do that one too?
All right. Item 11.01, there are no field trips to approve at this time. Item 11.02, there are no substitutes or tutors to approve at this time. Item 11.03, there are no travel expenses to approve. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, yeah, there's. So we're looking. Are we even looking? We're looking to
missed your
vote on
chance.
nothing. We need your approval for no reason at all.
Okay. No approvals required, so we go to section 12, school community relations and policy. Therese.
Hi. So the first item, 12.01, is the PTA liaison report. But at the last meeting, I'll be taking over that report from Denise. So I'll report that the PTA met on January 10th. They went through a great amount of past events and fundraisers, which we've talked about here, but a really successful and very busy December. Upcoming school events were all listed in the important dates, but there's a dine and donate tomorrow night at Limberti's Tutti Toscani for the 5th grade promotion. There's a family fun night coming up on Friday, a bingo night here in the cafeteria. The Scholastic Book Fair is coming up, and that is next week, the 23rd through the 27th. There's an OMASEC gym night, which I was going to report on in the next report, on the 27th starting at 7:30. The PTA Red Cross Blood Drive is the 28th of Saturday of January from 8:30 to 1:30. They are moving their dates coming up, so their next meeting is February 7th at 6:30 in the library, but there will be a change to March 1st instead of March 7th for their March meeting. The talent show is coming up as well. That will be on Thursday, March 9th, the first time in person since 2020, so that's exciting. Then February events include a family fun night, a family reading experience, and looking ahead to spring fling. Also, they talked about upcoming class trips and teacher conferences and early dismissal, which will be the week of February 13th through the 16th. And then the school is closed for believe it's professional development on the 17th, and then for President's Day, it's closed on the 20th. That's it.
Thank you.
So then I will report on OMASAC. Sorry, you have to keep listening to me talk. But OMASAC met via Zoom. The board met via Zoom on December 19th. They reported that they co-sponsored a haunted hayride with the Collingswood PTA in October. They did not participate in Red Ribbon Week this year, but they will be using some of those funds probably for use in the high school, which makes a lot of sense as our children are, many of them are students there. There was a gym night on November 4th and December 16th. I think I reported at the last meeting, so it was mostly planning for the ones coming up in 2023. And then OMASAC is in contact with both the PTA and Ms. Bolden about assemblies, or at least one assembly, bless you. And then, as I said, there's a gym night on the 27th, and that is it. So then we'll go to Mr. Stotts for Collingswood report.
Okay, thanks, Therese. Collingswood hasn't had a regular board meeting since our last meeting, but they did have a reorganization meeting on January 4th. New members were sworn in. It was Kelly Maya, Megan Mikulski, and Kate Seltzer. Everyone acknowledged the receipt of their code of ethics. Reagan Caden was reelected as the board president. Matt Craig was elected vice president this year. There was no public comment. The public meeting dates were approved. All policies and bylaws as expiring were approved, and existing job descriptions were also approved. And that was about it. Questions? Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. The next item, 12.04, is the Oaklyn Education Foundation.
I always get the short straw here. They haven't met yet this year. We're meeting on Thursday of this week, so I'm going to write down every single word about the meeting so I can talk as long as you did this next time. That's about all I got.
Thank you. 12.05, there's no policies first reading. So, and then 12.09 are the HIB reports, previous month none reported. So nothing to vote on.
Okay, very good. We're on a roll tonight. Okay, section 13, the second public discussion section. This is for anything that you'd like to talk about. So same rules, Stan, give us your name and address, keep your comments to 5 minutes or less, and Lou, you're up.
Lou Monias, 103 Johnson Avenue. Superintendent McDowell, last year we had talked about putting in something so that the teachers would know not to go out and cover critical race theory.
Can I interrupt really quick? Do you understand that we are not a religious institution?
Yeah, I know
Do you understand that we are not a financial institution?
I know that.
Do you understand we are not a political institution?
I know that too.
So what is your agenda for continuously pushing this? What are you trying to what are you trying to
I
prove?
just don't want kids to get indoctrinated.
What does that mean?
You don't know what indoctrination
I'm asking you
means?
what your definition of indoctrinated means.
Where kids are taught things other than reading, writing, math, science.
And we've addressed this over and over and said that is not being addressed. That is not being taught in this school. Or any
Well,
other school, for that matter.
Superintendent
Hey, guys.
McDowell said that he was going to put something out in writing to cover all of this.
Sir, no, I did not. What I said was that we do not, nor have we, discussed or plan to discuss the integration of critical race theory in an elementary school. For the record, and for those that are watching, critical race theory is for graduate school students and law school students. It is not a thing. It is a lens in which lawmakers help to create laws and public policy. It is not appropriate in a K through 12 space. We do not teach it. This is the fourth meeting that you have come and asked about critical race theory, and we don't do it here in Oakland. We do not do it in Collingswood Public Schools.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, now, having said that, guys, we don't need a discussion back and forth. Who's entitled to tell us in 5 minutes or less what he has to say.
I appreciate that, Bill, but I'm tired of wasting my time with him. So if he wants to talk, I'm going to talk back. Okay?
No, you're not. Not in my meeting, you're not.
Well,
Sorry.
then-
We're going to hear what Lou has to say. He can say what he says. We'll thank him, and life will go on. And at that point, when he's done, if you have an opportunity, you can have an opportunity to rebut if you'd like. That's fine. Okay.
I'm done.
Jesus. Okay, rebuttal.
I said my thing.
I just
Thank
want to add that I think that
I'm sorry.
I just want to add that I think that this is why it's important for us to have a board core values statement. I think that we really need to have something because I don't agree that having a back and forth is always the most productive way. But thank you, Dr. McDowell, for explaining the case, and thank you, Jimmy, for everybody. But I really think that Rich's suggestion and our work together on a core values statement will be something that we can point to as what we do here, what our mission is here, and who we serve.
Can I point out something too, real quick?
Sure.
Public comment's not supposed to be a dialogue.
I'm sorry, public comment?
It's not supposed to be a dialogue. It's a public comment, and then we can respond later, but it's not supposed to be a back and forth.
I apologize for that. I'm just lost my patience.
Okay. Anyone else? Okay, on my agenda, that's the last item I have. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
And
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? Meeting is adjourned. Thank you.